Estadio Azteca, 2,200 meters above sea level, a stadium where Mexico had not lost a single World Cup match since 1982, where the ghosts of 1986 still hang in the thin air. The night Maradona's hand broke English hearts. Thomas Tuchel's men walked into that cauldron as visitors in every sense of the word, and what they walked out with was nothing short of an all-time World Cup classic, a 3-2 win that will be replayed for years. Let's talk about the start, because this is where the story truly begins. Mexico had not conceded a single goal all tournament, not one. 5 clean sheets away from history, a defense that had suffocated every attacker put in front of it. And then Jude Bellingham happened, twice, in the space of 90 seconds. First a header off a Saka cross that silenced 60,000 voices in an instant. And before the crowd could even process what they had witnessed, Bellingham struck again, punishing a loose Mexican pass with a ruthless counter finish. 2 goals, 90 seconds, and suddenly the invincible fortress had cracks running straight through it. But this is a World Cup, and nothing stays simple for long. Julián Quinones, the tournament's breakout star, the man already tied for the most goal involvements by a Mexican player in World Cup history, produced the response his nation needed. A clinical strike that cut the deficit in half and turned a stunned Azteca back into a roaring one. 2-1 at the break, and you could feel the momentum swinging, England clinging to a lead that suddenly felt fragile. Then came the moment that changed everything. 54 minutes on the clock, Jarell Quansah sliding into a challenge on Jesus Gallardo. The referee waved play on. VR did not agree. Red card, straight red. England already stretched thin at altitude, now down to 10 men, with more than half an hour still to survive. This is the part of the match where most teams collapse. This is the part where England somehow got stronger. Instead of retreating, England pushed forward. Harry Kane, the captain, the record chaser, stepped up when Anthony Gordon was hauled down in the box. Penalty. Kane made no mistake, 3-1, and for a moment it looked like England had killed the game stone dead with a man missing. Mexico refused to accept the script. Another VAR review, another penalty, this time against England, and Raúl Jiménez calmly sent Jordan Pickford the wrong way. 3-2, 30 minutes to go, 10 men, a raging home crowd smelling blood. What followed was pure survival football, the kind that gets written into World Cup folklore. Jimenez rising above the England defense for a header that looked destined for the top corner, until Pickford somehow flung himself high enough to tip it over the bar, a save that will be replayed alongside his career best. Moments later, Cesar Montes ready to pounce on the resulting corner, only for Bellingham, the same man who scored twice, to sprint back and produce a goal line clearance that saved the match all over again. Down a man at altitude against a team that had not lost at home in this competition, England found something that goes beyond tactics. Call it resilience, call it belief, call it whatever you want, but for 36 minutes plus stoppage time, they refused to break. When the final whistle blew, the numbers told a brutal story for the home side. Mexico's first ever World Cup defeat on home soil. A 5-match unbeaten, 5-match shutout run ended in the cruelest way imaginable. And for England, a different kind of history, banishing the demons of 1986 in the very stadium where that heartbreak was born, and doing it the hard way with 10 men in the altitude against the run of play for long stretches of this game. So here is the real question for you. Was this England's greatest defensive performance of the tournament, grinding out a result nobody expected them to survive? Or was it Mexico's biggest missed opportunity? A team with the game seemingly in their grasp, who let a golden chance to reach a first World Cup quarter-final since 1986 slip through their fingers in the cruelest fashion. Bellingham's brace will get the headlines. Kane's penalty will get the highlight reels, but Pickford's saves and that Bellingham goal line clearance, that is the difference between England celebrating in the dressing room tonight and Mexico crashing out in front of their own fans. Next stop for England, Miami, and a quarterfinal collision with Erling Haaland's rampaging Norway side, who pulled off a shock of their own earlier today against five-time champions Brazil. Buckle up, because if this is the standard of knockout football at this World Cup, we are only just getting started.